Hey guys, it's Toby Morrison here from CFS Health, and in today's video, we are going to talk about the 10 key tips to improving the quality of your sleep. Now, I know there's lots of quick fixes and supplements out there that you might be trying to take, and you probably bought literally a cupboard full of supplements to try and sleep better. But before you keep doing that, or before you go and spend another $100 on a sleep pill, I want you to try these 10 things, and I want you to see if you're doing these 10 things first. And if you are, or if you haven't yet, but you're going to implement these things, you will definitely notice an improvement with the quality of your sleep. You'll feel more restful during sleep, and you should be able to sleep for longer. And I know one of the biggest things is having interrupted sleep or irritable sleep, especially when it comes to chronic fatigue syndrome and chronic illness, which is ironic because most people who don't experience it think that all you do is sleep, which isn't necessarily true depending on what stage you're in. So I've got it here, I've written them down. And like I said, if you can grab a notepad and pen, I'm going to make this really quick and sharp and short so you can just get to the bottom of it. You can apply it and move on. But just make sure, let's see if you're actually doing these things first. So the first thing, your day determines your night. So many people come to us and say, "Ugh, I can't sleep. I'm just feeling terrible." And then we'll ask them, what are you doing during the day? And they're like, I don't really have a routine. I don't have any structure. Depending on how I feel is what I do. And that's all well and good. But if you don't have a planned day or at least some form of routine and structure, and I know it's boring, but trust me, the amount of transformations I've seen from people who apply this is ridiculous. So routine and structure. You've basically got to get the right amount of activity and rest. I would look at your day, which should determine your night, right? If you're doing too much, you're either going to be overtired and wired or way too exhausted. But if you're doing too little, you're actually going to have surplus energy in your body, which is going to keep you awake at night. So we want to get to the end of the day feeling good tired, okay? Tired is good, right? It's not a bad thing, but we want to get to the end of the day and be good tired, not ridiculously overly exhausted, but also not wide awake where we've got energy inside ourselves. I see it time and time again. And when you dial this in and you get a specific view, depending on where you're at, it's going to make a huge difference to your life. Second thing, avoid sleeping too late in the day. Now, you might not be a daytime sleeper, or you might be sleeping during the day because your body needs it right now. But one of the things that we teach is making sure that you're not sleeping too late in the day. So if you do need a daytime sleep, sleep between the times of 10 a.m. and 2 to 3 p.m., no later than that. Why? Because if you sleep later than that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You wake up at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. and you're like, what time is it? And your brain's trying to figure out, is it morning or is it nighttime? And so basically you're ruining your circadian rhythm. What we want to do is, yes, we want to honor our body. If we need more deep rest and sleep during the day, that's fine. We need to honor that. We need to do it in the right appropriate times. If we're doing it too late in the day, we're confusing our brain and our body, and we're not going to sleep well at night. This is something you got to be flexible with. Some people couldn't sleep until 4 a.m. in the morning because they sleep so late in the day. We had to reverse this slowly. In particular, one teenage boy would wake up at like 3 p.m. in the afternoon because he just had the worst night's sleep. And so we had to work with him for 6 months to rewind his body clock and get him into a good rhythm and routine. And it was very hard initially for him, but I can tell you that after 6 months, that boy was a brand new boy. More energy, would wake up normal times, got stronger and healthier over time, and basically was able to go and live his life full time after that. But it was a real hard process to get him out of that rhythm and routine, which is exactly what it is. It's a pattern. We need to break the pattern, but we need to do it in a flexible way, whether that's easing back 20 minutes at a time or 5 minutes at a time or an hour at a time, whatever suits you. Again, this is where having a coach or a program to help you with this stuff is very important. So yeah, don't sleep any later than 3 p.m. If you don't freak out if you do, but try and pull it back more. Okay. So you've got more time in the afternoon for your brain and body to see, okay, the sun's going down now and I can sleep. It's time to go back to bed now. I've got some really key ones at the end of this, so please watch the end because I've got one that's very important, which will back that one up. Food and activities, rest-play ratio number 3. Making sure that you're eating holistic nutrition, you're having your proteins, your carbohydrates, and your fats. When I say carbohydrates, I'm talking about root vegetables and fruits that are suitable for you. Everyone's different, but pick what you need and what works for you. And then making sure that you're having the right rest play ratio throughout the day. You've got to remember that your natural cortisol levels are going to spike in the morning. They're going to slowly decline till about 3 p.m. That's the 3 p.m. slump. And then they pick back up again and then they go back down again. That's normal. Okay. How can we supplement this? We can supplement this with really good high metabolic food, which is going to keep our blood sugar levels sustained, not too high, not too low, and our energy levels sustained throughout the day. That's one thing that I think is very important that is so overlooked is meal frequency and meal combination, having the protein and the carbohydrates to make sure there's a balanced meal there. Again, rest-play ratio. If you are resting, stay to the end of this because I've got another tip for you about that in conjunction with your sleep. But find the right rest-play ratio, which is basically your baseline so you can stop pushing and crashing all the time and basically be more consistent, which is, again, going to help you with your sleep. Number 4 is have you winded down? I think one of the things is we want to sleep better, but we're constantly on our phones. We're watching shitty TV. I don't watch TV, but most people watch TV and they're wired still at 9 o'clock at night. Are you actually winding down? Because it's such a habit to not wind down. I totally get it. But it's amazing what happens if we do wind down properly. Number 5, sleep environment. We want to make sure that our room is our kind of sacred place for sleep. We don't want it to have everything in there. We don't want it to have distractions in there. Laptops and computers and TVs in your bedroom, I don't think is necessary. I don't think it's helpful. I don't think it's healthy. Your bedroom needs to be for sleep. Okay. So make it an environment that actually makes you want to calm down and relax. Whether that's having candles in your room, essential oils, nice flowers or plants or whatever it is for you, make your room something that you want to come home to bed to. Make it as nice as you possibly can for yourself. Make your bed in the morning. We want to create order in the environment that we've got. Again, you'll think that these tips are a bit silly, but they're not. They're very useful and very effective. Number 6 is room temperature. Now, there's some really good studies out there to suggest that a cooler room temperature is going to help you have better sleep. I know some of you are in the UK and in Europe, so you get those really cold winters. But anywhere from 18 to 23 degrees in your room would be really good. Some people like it warmer, some people like it colder. Too hot, your body's going to overheat. So that is really important that you try and get the room temperature right for you. This one's, I think, is very important. A quality eye mask and quality earplugs. Not the kind of squishy ones, the soft squishy ones. You want to get silicone earplugs. Now that will block out all the noise. It might take some time getting used to, but if you wake up because you're a sensitive sleeper, that can be really helpful. A quality eye mask that covers your entire eyes can be also very helpful. So have a look online. Some of you will like the heavier ones, some of you will like lighter ones. It's so worth investing in that. So go check that out. Number 8 is pillow and blanket. Have a quality pillow. Now, if the one that you've got isn't working for you, it's annoying, just try another one until you find the right one. Blanket. Again, if you're too hot, it's probably too heavy. We want to make sure that we've got the right temperature, not too low, but not too high. So if you've got a blanket that's too heavy, maybe swap it for 2 thinner blankets or throwovers to have that right temperature for you. Number 9, bed is only for sleep and sex. Yes, I'm going to say that again. Bed is only for sleep and sex. And if you're not having sex, then it's just for sleep right now, okay? If you're resting, rest somewhere else. This is very important. If you're in your bedroom and you're doing everything in your bedroom, even if you're resting in the bedroom all the time, if you can, I would highly recommend using your bedroom only for sleep and sex, and everything else can be done somewhere else. Now, if you're resting and you're not in a great way, then obviously that's fine in your bedroom. But if you can, go and rest on the couch. If you can, go and rest outside or somewhere not on your bed, because what's going to happen is your brain is starting to associate resting in bed, not sleeping. What we want to do is get our brains to associate bed with sleep, not bed with rest and bed with doing arts and crafts on it and all those kinds of things. Bed is for sleep. Okay. The more we can get our brains to start to associate with that, the better it will be for us too. I've got a few bonus ones. I lied. It was 10, but I've actually got 16 here for you. But the last six are key. Now, they're a bit deeper and they'll help you with the mindset stuff and the anxiety of it all as well. Number 10, avoid chocolate stimulants after 2 p.m. every day. That goes for coffee, black tea. Basically, try and stop the stimulants early on in the afternoon. If you have it too late, it usually keeps you too stimulated and it just won't be that useful for you. So definitely avoid chocolate and stimulants from 2 p.m. onwards. For dinner, don't eat dinner too late and don't eat too much for dinner. You know what it's like if you eat at 8 o'clock at night, the sun's gone down 2 to 3 hours before that, and you're so full that when you lie down, you feel like the food's up here somewhere. Again, really simple thing, but this goes back to your day. If you're having breakfast at the set time, then you're having a snack, then you're having lunch, then you're having a snack, then you're having a dinner, it's good. But if you skip meals and you're sleeping way longer than you should and your routine's all out of whack and all of a sudden you're eating at 9 o'clock at night and you're full as a goog, and then you have dessert on top and you've got all this sugar sitting on top of this beautiful high protein, solid carbohydrate meal, your stomach's doing a lot of work. It's awake, it's working. So try and have dinner at an earlier time. 6 to 7 is ideal when the sun goes down. And if you're hungry, then have a light snack before bed. But that will help a hell of a lot. Now, number 12 is having a nighttime routine. Now, this could be light stretching. It could be having a chamomile tea with a little bit of honey. It could be listening to some classical music. It could be, lighting the candles. It could be anything. But your nighttime routine is very important in the sense of no phone, putting your phone on airplane mode, dimming the lights. If you want, you could get blue light blockers. It basically dims your surroundings just by wearing that. That can be very beneficial too. Buying some blue light blockers, they're pretty affordable online. I think you can find them on eBay or Amazon for probably $30 or something like that. Before we had electricity and things like that, people went to bed at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, or at least they were winding down then. Now, we're just so stimulated, and it's no wonder that we're not sleeping that well. And it's amazing what happens when we get into a good nighttime routine, whether it's a light stretch on the yoga mat or just some restorative breathing, whatever it is, that can be very helpful too. I've also got here breathing exercises. So nostril breathing can be very helpful. Sometimes meditation can be useful too. You can probably start to overthink and get frustrated with yourself, but nostril breathing is great. One thing that I recommend is box breathing. So you breathe in for a count of 3 or 4, and then you basically double it in time on the exhale. So you breathe in for 1, 3, 4, and then you breathe out for 8. You can try that. Pausing your breath on the empty stomach can be helpful too. There are some great YouTube videos that can help you with that. We have our own select breathing exercises inside our online recovery program. But basically just calming down your nervous system using your nasal breathing can be very helpful. It'll switch on your parasympathetic nervous system. And you could just have your hand on your heart and your tummy. Just 3 minutes of just nice, easy breathing can be very helpful for you. Okay. Now, some good ones coming up for you. They're all good, obviously. If you apply some of these, I'm sure it's going to help you. We've got writing down any to-dos that you have for the following day. I know sometimes when we've got things on our mind, just having a notepad and pen beside our table and just writing down some things that are on your mind, the to-do list, even just journaling for 5 or 10 minutes can be so helpful just to get it all out on paper and then leave it there rather than remunerating inside your head. Now, what calms your nervous system? Number 15. This is important. I want you to ask that question and figure out what actually helps calm your nervous system. For some of you, it might be listening to music. It might be reading. It might be playing an instrument like a guitar. It might be singing. It might be just closing your eyes and just relaxing, nostril breathing. And obviously, some of you aren't going to be able to do it for long periods of time, but even if you just do it for a couple of minutes, it can be very helpful for your sleep. Getting you back into your body rather than in your head is going to be the key here. And this is why I asked that question to you. What calms your nervous system? For me, It's art, it's playing guitar, it's singing, and it's amazing what happens after a little while of just doing that. You all of a sudden just feel more relaxed, and that's basically you being in your body and calming your nervous system down. And finally, the most important one is mindset around sleep. Worrying about your sleep is only going to perpetuate the problem. And so I've got a really great tip for you here, and it's really helped a lot of our online clients. Even if you wake up in the night, calming yourself down and relaxing is going to be way more restorative and rejuvenative than sitting there tossing and turning, being pissed off and worried and frustrated that you're not sleeping. So if you do wake up in the middle of the night, what I would recommend is just realize that you're awake and then just go, okay, I'm awake now. That's okay. I'm just going to relax and I'm going to chill out and I'm just going to soften my body and relax. And a really cool tip is talking to yourself in the third person, but almost like you're talking to a baby. Okay, you're going to relax now. You're going to ease back into sleep. You're going to feel more restorative relaxation. What that is doing is actually telling your brain it's okay. You're just going to relax. You're just going to chill. And that is so much more helpful than going, oh my God, I can't sleep. Why can't I sleep? And that's just razzing up our nervous system. So that's a really brilliant key tip is with that calming, soothing voice, just ease yourself back down to sleep, nice and relaxed. And as you can see here, on one hand, we've got the very practical solutions that if you apply over a period of time, you're going to get results, hands down. We've had members who couldn't sleep at all to sleeping 9 hours every night deeply. Their gut's better, their energy levels are better, their mindsets are better. And that's down to all these little tips that we've suggested here. Finding the right baseline, getting the right help, and then moving forwards in the right appropriate way is very useful for you. And then we come down to the more pragmatic stuff about the mindset, what calms our nervous system, and how we can help ourselves there too. So I hope this was really helpful. Let me know once you've applied some of these things, come back to this video and just comment in what has been a game changer for you. This will help someone else who is probably watching this video now. The more people see this and apply this, the happier homes will be and the happier you will be too. Hey guys, it's Toby here, and I left out two that I wanted to add into this because I think it's important. The first one is perception of sleep. There was a study, I think it was through one of Dr. Deepak Chopra's books, but there's studies that, on this just outside of that too, where they talk about the perception of sleep, and basically people who perceive that they sleep better, even if they don't, actually tend to feel better. And they found that even insomniacs, people who said that they weren't even able to sleep for 5 minutes at a time, actually, when they did the study, found that they actually slept 3 to 4 to 5 hours over that 7 to 9 hour period, yet in their head, they literally felt, or at least said, that they didn't sleep for more than 5 minutes at a time. Now, getting 5 hours or 4 hours of sleep is a lot better than getting 1 minute or 5 minutes all up, which is what they believed. And so the perception of your sleep is really important. You don't actually probably know how much you slept because you're asleep. If you want, I would just Google perception of sleep studies and see what comes up. But that's also an interesting note to add, that the perception of sleep can actually either increase your wellness or decrease your wellness and your anxiety towards sleep in the first place. So be mindful of that and shake it off if you didn't sleep well. Oh, I didn't sleep that well, but that's okay. I'll be okay. I'll make sure I do all the right things for myself today and then get back into a routine tonight. The second thing I wanted to add is your morning routine and your nighttime routine in the terms of what time you go to bed and what time you wake up. If you can get a consistent routine and structure with the time that you go to bed and the time that you wake up, it will eventually help you fall naturally asleep and wake up naturally. That's really appropriate for you. So those are the two things I wanted to add in. Obviously, this is a huge list of things. So I hope this was helpful and I hope you have a beautiful, restful night's sleep moving forwards, and come back to this video and rewatch it whenever you feel like you're going off track or you need more support. So wishing you all the best. Thanks heaps for watching. I'll speak to you soon.